So, as I got the chance to work with Justin in the Cultural Insider and Outsider project, he and I brainstormed for a little bit on what we wanted each other's site to be, and we both decided that we wanted to do something related with sports. So, he chose hockey because it was something really familiar to him and his family. I chose bowling because it was something that I was really familiar with and I had somewhat of an insider approach to. We started off by doing Justin's site visit first, and so therefore we went to an MSU hockey game because there just happened to be that weekend that the project started. And MSU was playing Ohio State, and while we were there, I had no idea what any of the basics of hockey are. I mean, I knew the basics actually. I'm sorry. I knew like how they score and like their rotations, but that's about it. I didn't understand any of like the audience community. I didn't understand most of the rules. And so to me, I was an outsider. I was the researcher going in to a place that has different beliefs and values than myself. And so when we got there and I'm watching this game, I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff. Justin's explaining it to me, and I'm slowly seeing why he was an insider to this because of what his family and himself had experienced throughout his childhood and made it something he was an insider to. After we got his project done, we found out that MSU had to transition to online schooling, and therefore we weren't able to go directly to my site. We were going to go bowling because the MSU Union does a free bowling night every Wednesday for students. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that, and so we had to do like an online meeting kind of thing and just talk about it. And so I had the chance to tell him about different techniques and different like the types of settings that were there, like how people acted, the kind of music, the kind of lighting and everything. Just basically how I was an insider to that project, or to that area, I'm sorry. I was the person who was showing the researcher, or Justin, what it was like to be a part of that community, because Justin told me that he had no prior experience with the bowling community or how people interact with each other when they're bowling and that kind of thing. So I was the insider, being the teacher, I guess you could say, for the researcher. Last thing I want to touch on about culture is that it can have a very broad definition. And what Justin and I were intending when we used it in this project is that his view of culture with hockey was that his family and himself and his friends had built somewhat of a inner community amongst themselves during his childhood around hockey, that it had been something really important to him. It had taught him values. It's like a sport can be a culture to many people. I know, like in America, we have football. Many countries have like soccer. For me, bowling was kind of one because that's something I had done a lot as a child. My family and I do it a lot. I have friends who do it. If you come to Hastings, it's kind of like just like one of those little niches that we have, that everyone does it because they find it fun. Sometimes it's competitive, but to us, it's a somewhat of a culture just because it's something that everyone enjoys. It's something that everyone does, and it's like a part of who we are. Thank you.